Let's see. What was dealt with so far in Day 12? We learned that this abnormality was called Fragment of the Universe. It broke out of its containment unit twice. The Punishing Bird broke out of its containment unit for the first time. And we defeated the Crimson Noon ordeal. Yeah, sorry about that. That massive twisted flesh made me feel uneasy for some reason. Yeah, let's get back to the debriefing. Well, the rest of Day 12. It was then I found out. It was when there was a bad result or even a chance of an average or mediocre result that made the Querhoff counter lower. And then it was also discovered the suit that can be made derived from the Fragment of the Universe's research, along with a spear that does black damage. I knew that was something worth making. So I wanted agents to work on it until there was enough PE boxes to make all of it. Although that didn't mean that I didn't want to work on other abnormalities. Because they need to get stronger. Much stronger. If today was any indication. It'd also help if they had the right weapons. Better weapons than... well... I guess that would depend on the abnormality. In fact, it might be the case that Yeah, I was thinking this at the time, that the more dangerous the abnormality, the more likely it was to get better gear. Well, that was the theory. Putting it... yeah, this is a long one. Putting it into practice, that's more difficult. Yeah, it was more difficult, but... well, putting it to the test wouldn't happen on this day. That was certain. Yeah, just when you thought you figured it out, they put an additional layer in it. I also knew that I'd be finding more about the AI in charge of the security team. One suffering from depression. Someone that, well, didn't really care to do the job he was made for. Let's just say that professionalism was not something that he embodied, and that was from the first meeting of him. I was determined to make sure none of my agents died on my watch. As for the clerks, they weren't my department, and so I couldn't order them around, unfortunately. It was at this point I focused primarily on Fragment of the Universe and Bloodbath. Oh, and Punishment Bird. Punishing Bird. Whatever you want to call it. That one had to be worked on first, or it could escape and be a general nuisance to the... well, to anyone that was in between it and where it wanted to go. Yeah, the more that Fragment of the Universe was worked on, the more PE boxes could be obtained. Well, and it meant that quite often, meltdowns didn't happen as often. Well, not as quickly anyway. I decided to read the background of this abnormality. Well, it was there wasn't really anything much to do. All the research was done. All the gear was made. So other than reading up on it, and also checking to see if any weapons were destroyed and needed remaking. We were pretty much done for the day. It was then that B contacted me and told me not to trust AIs. Because they're a lot smarter than humans. And basically said that they were psychopaths. tell me something I don't know. Although lying implied that they gave false information, not kept the information from you. And that he also revealed he programmed AIs. And that he'd send me a system which would help me to tell whether they were lying or not. Where red means they're lying. During my meeting with Nezak, he talked about feeling like he was in a different world and belonged there. And then he realized he was down there, much to his disappointment. And he talked about how pointless it was to save lives if it meant they died later, delaying the inevitable. If it wasn't clear that he was depressed before, well, it was clear then. And it frustrated him, comparing them to lemmings going off a cliff. And then he asked if I could authorize the installment of a beer vending machine, which was of course against regulations. No alcohol down here. I respectfully declined. Then Angela appeared to reprimand him. And then he became suicidal. And gave me my mission to go a day without anyone panicking. Seems simple enough. I decided to put forward the research proposal for something that'd be useful for the main rooms, where even if something broke loose, there'd still be some healing. I decided to move around the different agents. Camille to the information team and Vasquez to the security team. I then decided to hire a new agent to fill the opening in the control team. As per usual, I decided to put a little more in prudence and temperance in order to make sure they don't die easily or go insane, depending on the abnormality. And then also use the remaining lob points where they were needed. As I had a reason to use them all. it was then I decided to have gear issued to those who didn't have it yet, or need replacement weapons, or rather needed replacement weapons. Yeah, there was one more recent recruit that needed both a weapon and a suit. Something better than the standard issue. And there was one agent which was more experienced that needed a replacement weapon. Well, it might seem hard to keep track of them all, but it's doable. Well, I'd say that Day 12's training program was coming along nicely. As for Day 13, well, I'm glad that we're taking a break, as that was a long one, wasn't it?